How often it happens that you know you have a habit which is not good, but still you find it difficult to change. Today I'm talking about how we can unlearn certain things so that we can have a growth mindset. By the time this video will end, you will understand that what exactly is the challenge that we face with respect to unlearning, what are the different aspects with respect to unlearning, and what we can do so that we can unlearn to achieve whatever we want to achieve in our life. Let me start with a very interesting story. This story is of a Zen master. Once there was a professor who comes to meet him to understand about the life of a Zen. Now, Zen master could understand the intention behind the coming of that particular professor. Now, Zen master offered him tea. Professor said, yes, why not? So when Zen master started pouring the tea, he kept on pouring the tea even the glass was already filled. Now the professor said, what are you doing? Why don't you stop? At that time, Zen master said that something exactly is the situation with your mind also. You have come with a certain preconceived notion at this particular time, and with these preconceived notion you will not be able to understand or learn anything with respect to the Zen life. In case you want to understand about it, first of all, it's important that you have a clear and an open mind about it. So if you see, the simple moral of the story is that in case we want to learn something, in case we want to grow, then we have to try something different. We have to unlearn certain things which we are already doing so far. There's a very interesting quote by Leo Tolstoy. As per him, the most difficult subjects can be explained to the most slow-witted man if he has not formed any idea of them already. But the simplest thing cannot be made clear to the most intelligent man if he is firmly persuaded that he knows already, without a shadow of doubt, what is laid before him. So what does it mean? If you see from the perspective of the story of Zen Master, when we talk about that cup, that reflects our mind, that generally our mind is full of ideas. And when it is full of ideas and we are trying to learn something new, we always find it difficult. Now that does not mean that whatever we are doing so far was not good. But then as long as it is giving the result, it is fine. But then when it stops giving the result, now that's a time then we have to start seeing that what are the things which are not working at this moment, and what should I try to learn something new. And when we have to learn something new, we have to unlearn certain things. So for example, let's take up a person who is maybe a graduate engineer trainee and joins a new company. So maybe in the beginning, the seniors may be giving a lot of instructions, and when he's fulfilling the targets, then maybe he's getting a lot of appreciation. And this trend may continue for years and years. But after a while, now that graduate engineer trainee will become a senior person in that organization. Now, at that time, that person has to start seeing things from a different perspective. Now, rather than expecting someone to give the directions and wait for the appreciation, it's a time when that person has to give the directions, and that person has to give the appreciation to the people down the line and appreciate himself or herself. If that thing is not happening, then at that time that person may feel frustrated that why things are not happening. And certainly the things are not happening because over a period of time that person has not changed the perspective with respect to the change in the different role. And something similar happens in different parts of life. We have so many patterns. Maybe we are always scolding our child, maybe we are always late, maybe we are telling a lie, and we want to change something, but still we are not able to do that because we are not trying to understand that why it is happening and what different we need to do at this particular time. So for example, there's a very interesting story about a teacher who used to teach the students about how to play the guitar. Now there were two students who came, one already knowing about the guitar and second not knowing anything about it. So after seeing that how that person who knows how to play the guitar, he understands that that person does not understand the guitar properly. Now that teacher said that the person who knows how to play the guitar, he will charge more in comparison to the other guy. And the only reason is that he has to put more effort so that that guy can unlearn what he has learned so far. There's a very interesting quote which has been given by Alvin Toffler. He said, the illiterates of the 21st century will not be those who cannot read and write, but those who cannot learn and unlearn and relearn. So that brings another interesting question, that what to do, why unlearning is important. So the simple reason why unlearning is important is because it helps us to take us further to the next level. Because there could be a possibility that where we have reached as of now, that may be because of that previous knowledge, but now that previous knowledge is not working, and to go to the next level, we need to learn something new. So that does not mean that now we don't know anything, but the point is that maybe something which has helped us to brought to this particular level, now we need to learn something new at that level. Again, that does not mean we need to change our target. The target will remain same. The only thing is the path will change. The way we are going this way, maybe we need to have a different way, but the target will remain same. So for example, let's assume in the social media world, maybe there's a guy who has started a YouTube channel, and that guy is targeting that in 1 year he will have 1 lakh subscribers. Now, 6 months down the line, he realized that now still he has only 10,000 subscribers. There's a long way to go. Now, there are two ways. One is to still continue the old habit and look for the result. The second option is to try something new. So it all depends that we want to go with that old knowledge and still think that I will achieve the target, or maybe trying something new. There's a very interesting quote which has been given by Darwin. He said, "It is not the strongest of the species that survives, nor the most intelligent that survives. It is the one that is the most adaptable to change that person survives." So that brings another important question, what to do in this particular stage. Now, does it mean that we are wrong? Whatever we have done so far is not right? The answer is no. Whatever we have done so far is right. That's why we have reached here. But then we must realize that maybe what has brought us here will not take us to the next level. So we need to learn something new so that we can achieve all that. Just like the story of that Zen master, which is talking about the cup which is full of water or maybe tea. Now it's a time to unlearn everything and try something different. And we'll do that. There is a high possibility that we can achieve whatever we can do. So there are three key steps what can be done. The first is, why do we want the change? The second is how to do the unlearning. And the third most important thing is, why do we want to unlearn? So starting with the first, why do we want to unlearn? So here the intent is that we know we may be having some bad habit, or maybe whatever we did so far that has given the result, but now it is not giving the result. So that is the real why we want to change. So for example, our health is getting impacted because of smoking. So that is a big why to change. Now the second step is how. Now in this 21st century, there's plethora of information which you can get what to do so that you can achieve whatever you want to achieve. But the important thing is that whatever we want to achieve, we need to understand that whether it can be implementable or not. Say for example, we are fond of too much tea and coffee. So how can we that now we can have water or maybe lemon tea instead of a tea or a coffee? Now that brings the third point, which is the most crucial and the most important. Why we want to change. Unless and until we have a clarity about the want to change, whatever the step one and step two, that will never work. So the clarity of want to change should be there. And if the desire is high, there is a possibility that we can achieve whatever we want to do that. In conclusion, the most important thing is that we need to see that whatever we are doing so far, whether it is helping us to achieve our target or not, if it is helping us, we should continue with that. But if it's not, then we need to understand that and we need to learn some new skills about it so that we can achieve whatever we are targeting to achieve. Lao Tzu has said a very interesting thing. He said, to attain knowledge, add things every day. To attain wisdom, remove things every day. My dear friends, if I talk about myself, I am challenging myself every day. Many times I feel that I'm still stuck with many old things and I'm finding it difficult to change. But at times, I challenge myself and change it. I am changing myself. What you are doing? I'm waiting for your feedback. Thank you.